Hi, welcome to my channel or welcome back. So today I'm going to be moving into a new agenda. So this is a Spek and this is in the personal size wide, and this is a Louis Vuitton agenda, or it would be right now a medium ring agenda. So I'm going to be moving out of this one and moving into here. As I said, this is personal wide, so it is giving me a little bit more room, and I do like the fact that this has like 2 pen loops. So I'm going to try moving into here and using this agenda for the next month of June setup. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using. And I think I can play around with my inserts because I'll have a little bit of room. So as you can see right now, based on like what I'm using, you can see it's quite tight, like right to the edge. So I think I might get a little bit more room in here. So let's get started. So I'm just going to probably remove all of my inserts from in here. I think these are going to be, I think these are 19mm rings that are currently in the or medium ring agenda. And I'm going to be moving into these, which I believe are 25 or 30. So this will definitely give me a little bit more room to work with. So I'm just going to put this to the side and get started. So I do still have like a winter setup in here, and we are now moving into pretty much almost summer. So I'm going to look at some of these inserts and see which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to remove. So I'm just going to keep this cover page here. And these are just all Dollar Tree like cutting mats that I cut down to size. So you definitely don't have to spend a lot of money on a lot of the bigger brands in order to have, you know, a nice cover page, or just pretty much the same thing. It's just a frosted chopping mat from Dollar Tree. It comes in the set of 2, and then I just use my paper trimmer and cut it down. So I'm going to remove this, and I think I'm going to put in my calendar. Let's do that. And I always use, with vellum, I use cardstock in order to add some texture and layer to be able to see my calendar a little bit more efficiently. So that's why I add the cardstock, I should say, behind it. So as you can see it a little bit better as opposed to when it's just a clear vellum like that. Next, I'm going to be putting back in, I think, all of my months. So I might be able to, if I'm in wider rings, actually keep most of my months in here. So I am going to put back March, April, May. I did remove January, February, but I think I may put it back in order to just have maybe 6 months at a time. And that is what I'm going to be putting in here. And then I have June here, and I'll show you what my inserts are going to look like. So I really do not like these inserts at all because it doesn't give you room in order to separate it completely. If you've watched my other videos, I've explained this before. So I did purchase these on Amazon. They are dated, which is great, but I didn't realize that they printed each month back to back. So as you can see, like you go to end of May, beginning of June, and then your calendar is not like a separate calendar. It goes right into the month behind it, which I do not love. I still keep kind of going back and forth if I just want to kind of get rid of all of these inserts, but for now I'll just leave it. So I think I'm going to actually go back and add in this inbox. So I'm going to put this inbox in front of this. So it just says inbox here. I'm just going to add this in here like that and use that, I think, to layer it. So as I said, some of my vellum are a little wider, and some of my inserts I've used in different, because I find that with Louis Vuitton agendas, they are definitely a lot more narrow than some of my other personal agendas. So that is what it looks like with the inbox over it. Okay, so let's jump into June and grab my inserts. So I do store all of my inserts here in this Carpe Diem. So that is, I think I have June already, the full month of June in here. So let's just leave that. Next, I'm going to go into so these are my wellness sheets. So let's see, where do I have? So I have in here from January all of my wellness sheets, so I can explain it to you and show it. So you do get these sheets, and this is, I have in here May, so I need to add June in. So this is what a wellness tracker looks like. So these are from Filofax, and this is part of their, I think it's like a plain or black and white aesthetic. So the paper is definitely a little different in terms of it just being black and white as opposed to Filofax's regular kind of blue aesthetic. So you have here, this is just undated. I did go ahead and date all of my sheets. So you have your wellness goals here. You have your habit tracker. You can add in whatever your goals are here, and then whatever additional goals you have in terms of tracking. And it does go from Monday to Sunday. And then in here, you just write down what are your goals for the week. So this is like a completed one. So I had added my 6-week program that I was following, and that whatever weight I wanted to lose, no added sugar, low carb, and strength training 3 to 4 days, cardio, adding that in another day or two. So down here, I have like strength training, cardio, Bible study, journaling, how much protein I wanted to get in, my devotionals, no spending and savings. And that was it back in December and January. So I'm just going to add these inserts back in. I do like keeping this as a reference. And I think I'm going to add some division here by adding in some. So here you go. So I'm going to add this in, and it just says on here in vellum, it's going to be very hard to see. It just says, reminder, slow progress is still progress, which I think is fitting when you are on a weight loss journey and a lifestyle complete change. And then I just have all of these are, as I said, just Dollar Tree like chopping mats that I cut, and it just says wellness here at the side. And then what I do is actually use another Filofax, one of their regular styles, as I said, like with the blue and black and white. And this is usually the aesthetic. So I just track my lower upper body, or if I'm doing a full body, whatever exercise I am doing, I track on this monthly. And then when you go in, I just put all of my wellness goal sheets. Next will be my finance section. So I'm just going to add this in. These are vellums that I had made some time ago. So I'm just going to add this in here to add division again and take out these. And okay, so no, so finance will be after. So this is my home section. I won't go over necessarily the calendar, like what I'm writing in here, because it's all of my son's soccer, and he has lots of like games and tournaments because he is playing rep soccer. So this is my home section. So anything that has to do with the kids, appointments, that kind of stuff, I can write in here. If my kids have any upcoming events, I can write it in here. So this is like December. So you can see it's just a month on 2 pages. And then it just goes into back to back as well. So I'm just keeping the whole year in all at once. And then definitely last, I am putting this in. So this is all of my financial, like paying my bills. I have attempted over and over in order to track spending, all that stuff, which I definitely need to do a better job at doing. So I'm just going to add these sheets in and show you how I track like finances each month. So these tabs here I have at the top are when I need to pay the water bill. Water bill is like in term, as you can see. So September you'd pay the water bill, and then December. So I just put this as a reminder to know that that month it will be a little bit more money being spent because of the water, obviously, being cycled every 3 months. So here it just gives you a review category amount. So in this category part, I put all of the bills that are reoccurring. So I will have my children's cell phones, I pay insurance, that kind of stuff. It will come out every single month, and then I total it up. And then what will vary is it's still going to be bills that you pay regularly, like your, say your not phone bill. I would say like heating, cooling, that kind of stuff. Those will go here. Internet. Those are pretty much consistent, but I still put them down here because those are the payments that are due, and these are more of auto payments. So these will come out automatically, and these are bills that I will have to actually go in and pay. I could set up on auto payments, but I do like to look at my bills before I pay it to see how much we have used, how much we're gonna have to budget. So that is why they go down here. So that really kind of varies, but not. And then here, down here, you just put your initial amount, how much you spent for the week, and then your ending amount. But I'm actually using this for monthly as opposed to weekly expenses. And these are, I believe, from Filofax as well. Yep, they're from Filofax. And then on the back, you do have an expense tracker, which this is meant to be used, I guess, weekly, but I should continue to put in my expenses or things that I've spent my money on, I would say, you know, on a monthly basis, and record them here. Lastly is my notes section. It just says notes here. And then I'm going to add in these note sections. I don't really keep that many notes. I keep this in here just if I need like a blank piece of paper. And I picked these up from Amazon as well. They're just plain, you know, sheets that you can write whatever you need to. And then let's add these back in. So you have my little folder here, and this just keeps some date dots, or dots I should say, in order to use like daily to check things off, which is helpful. And these are just little folders that you can pick up on Amazon for a personal size as well. Then I have here, just don't worry, it said God knows what he's doing, and a little prayer here, and that's it on here. And these I made with laminating sheets, and I pretty much will keep the same things in here. And then lastly, I do have this pen holder, which I technically don't need because I do have 2 pen holders now. So I am going to add one here, and I'm actually going to add a highlighter. So let's see. So I'm going to add this mild liner. I don't know if it tells you the color, but it's just a very pale pink. It's called Cream. So this is in the color Cream. I'm just going to add this in here at the back. And let's see if this will even fit. So I might have to do my pen here, because I think this one might be a little stretched out more. Yep. So, and I'm going to add my highlighter there. And that is it for things I'm going to add in here. And I'll do a quick flip through. And then I'm going to add this at the front. So it says, may the flowers remind you why the rain is so necessary. And just add that to the front here. So this is what it looks like now. Definitely have a little bit more room in here to work with, because these are larger Krause rings. And then let's go through it. So I just have this cardstock here, my 2025 yearly calendar, and then my inbox, which I think I'm going to add some sticky notes to here. So let me do that. So I did have to remove these sticky notes because I didn't have room in my other, when I had the agenda, so, or medium ring. And then I have my March, April, May, and June in here now. And then my monthly tab for May, and then I'll be moving into June. And then in here, I just write down all of my videos that I am posting for the month of June, which I will go ahead and do that. And then these are what your weeklies look like. It is just a lined paper, which I do like, but I kind of like not having anything here and just being blanks, because I do use stickers. I use, I moved from being in a Happy Planner to using rings, but I still use the Happy Planner stickers in order to decorate and keep up with that. As I said, these are my wellness pages. And here, as you can see, my calendar from May. And then I need to add in June, so let's do that as well. So let me just grab it here. So as I said, in this Carpe Diem planner, I do have my inserts. So I'm just going to grab So this is what it's called. So you have here, this is your wellness tracker refill, and it's called Minimal. So if you are looking for agenda sheets that don't have the typical, as I said, blue aesthetic or blue color, which is their kind of signature, you can definitely look for their Minimal line. And so this will go into July, but I do have the last, okay, but no. So I only need June, so I'm going to take this out. And these are just all of the expense trackers. So you do get a lot of, because it is weekly, I think you did get 52, I believe, in here. Let's see. So you got 56 sheets. So you could use this as your weekly, but in order for it to stretch, definitely I'm using it just as a monthly overview because that's when I pay my bills. So that has just worked out. So I'll have this for quite some time. And then these are the sheets here. This is their classic, as I said, where it's a month on one page that I'm using in my wellness. And then, as I said, the Minimal is if you're looking for just something a little bit plain without the blue, especially if you use stickers and it clashing. So definitely look at the difference there if you are purchasing Follow Fact sheets off of Amazon. And that's pretty much it. So as I said, I have my finance sheets back here. And then just a very small note section. And that's it. So that is now going to be my setup for the month of June, ending of May. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all on another video. Thanks for watching. Definitely, as I said, subscribe and like this video. Thank you. Bye.